Now, every 20 years or so, we have moments in Australian sport which really are so memorable that you can probably remember where you were when you were watching them live. Back in the 1980s, of course, it was Australia winning the America's Cup. First time it had happened in the history of the Cup, and it was a magnificent unifier for a nation that was getting up on its feet and starting to make its mark on the world in the 80s. Kathy Freeman, of course, in the year 2000, showed us that it was possible for an Australian to end up winning at track and field, and she had, of course, the expectations of the country. So you know what the third one is. Ash Barty last night. Incredible, wasn't it? And we all felt exactly the same thing about halfway through the second set. Oh, please no, please no. But she turned around and she kicked ass. Now, she is the perfect example of a rarefied air that some Australians can be afforded because of their achievements in sport, where it doesn't matter if you're team red, team blue, male, female, hardcore, lefty, or right winger. We are unified behind what this achievement is. We know for 40 years we have all looked at the telly as an Australian was bundled out in the first or the second, or they were all gone by the third round. We all leant forward when Lleyton Hewitt was a good shot of it about 10 years ago, but to actually see an Australian win the Australian Open in this era before our own eyes, and a person who, not a person in the country has a bad word to say about, is magnificent. In fact, more people ended up watching the trophy celebration than the actual match itself. But the number of people who were watching this match last night, forget your bars, clubs and everyone else who was roddled around the TV, but according to the TV ratings, about 68% of all televisions in Australia were watching that moment last night. It is so rare for us to be able to unify around anything, but to be able to unify around how good is Ash Barty was a magnificent thing. I hope you remember exactly where you were. I can tell you where I was. We were out having a bit of a family night, and I made sure that we took the phone with us, and we sat there eating our ice creams as dusk was becoming night, and my two little girls were super excited. We kept it on in the car on our way home, and then, once Zadie had gone to bed, Asha sat there by herself with the phone while we were preparing bed and all the rest of it, and she got to see those moments as a little girl, excited about seeing what a little girl did when she was able to grow up and follow her dreams. I know that Asha, like many others, were thrilled to be able to live that moment last night. So Ash Barty, thank you from the country that you were able to bring together for 2 weeks in this January in 2022.